It's like the ultimate test in, physical strength, problem solving, mental strength. On top of that, you kind of live in this Spartan environment. The biggest thing that people need to know is that fire was here long before we were. And there is no option to not have fire out here. I think what most people don't know about where we're at here in Central California is that fire played such a prominent role in shaping the vegetation and the landscape over millions and millions of years. I think people would be surprised at the amount of natural occurring fires that happen every year. We would get probably anywhere between 20 to 40 lightning fires every year. And nobody hears about them because the crews are able to get out there, mobilize, and put them out. Our forests naturally require fire on the landscape, which thins out the fuels and makes these catastrophic fires less probable. And so what we're doing here is we're training students at the ground level to be good fuels management practitioners.
We need obviously young, healthy people who are going to go out into these forests and tackle these fuels management issues. We make a point of trying to recruit the most diverse cohorts we can: gender, income, ethnicity, recently returned veterans, people who've had to deal with the criminal justice system. We want to make this opportunity available to everybody.
As I worked in the Federal Fire Service and worked in suppression, worked in fuels management, it really became apparent the need to do this type of work.
There's an insufficient number of trained workers to take those forestry jobs, those forestry fuel management jobs. And that's when we said, wow. And here in Fresno and in the Valley, areas of high unemployment, we thought this is perfect. We can train our local residents to get these good jobs at the same time as they're getting a career in these industries. They're also helping to preserve our environment, eliminate the danger of fire. It's a win-win on both sides, the community level and on the personal level.
Just as someone, who's just a regular person, they see a forest and they see a bunch of trees all like dense and together, oh, that's a healthy forest. But with this class, we're learning that that's not necessarily the case.
Can't really undo the past, but what we can do is move forward and train folks up to know what right looks like out in the woods. Reducing fuels is something that we're going to need. So we give them a lot of background on the rationale behind the fuels work. We also talk a lot about fire ecology and the fuel loading in our ecosystem right now and how we got to the point where we're at now.
What caught my eye mainly was it's free. 20 weeks, completely free. I didn't pay a dime. I got free boots that are valued at $300-400.
We were initially funded by a small grant from the State of California Workforce Development Board to get this program off the ground with our local Conservation Corps, Reedley College, and Associated California Loggers, the employers. After we got it off the ground, we were then able to go to CAL FIRE and apply for a much larger grant, which we were successful in getting, that is funding cohorts of these trainees here in Fresno to do this work in the Southern Sierras.
This program exists so we can support the agencies that are trying to do the work. There's a lot of programs within the state, within the federal agencies that are ramping up their fuels management programs. And so for that, they're going to need personnel to do that. And so this integrated fuels program that we have, we're training the up-and-coming crop.
3 phases. Phase 1 is the introduction to forestry. Second is integrated fuels management. And then phase 3 is work experience, which I'm really looking forward to. And you get paid for it.
They're employees, they're Corps members. So it's on the ground doing the actual field work of what they've studied at Reedley College.
The students learn about forest health, fire ecology, how fire moves across the landscape. They learn about fuels management.
You're learning how to lay hose, you're learning how to fall these trees with a chainsaw, you're learning chainsaw maintenance, tool maintenance, how to communicate on a fire line, how to, just how to be in a team atmosphere. I feel like I'm retaining a lot of the information because, we can sit in a class and drill us with PowerPoints or assignments and whatnot, but if you're not actually out in the field doing it, then you're not really gonna learn.
We're really getting along with each other quite well. We all want to be here. And when you do something with a group of people and you're all equally passionate about it, it just raises the whole level for everybody.
When you're out here and you're many hours in and you're tired, you're hungry, you're complaining, but you're doing that together. You're not alone.
The team atmosphere, like the camaraderie, we kind of became like a little family, just, come in every day. That's what I love about it.
Being with this team is like, we've developed bonds and I think friendships that will definitely last for years to come, and hopefully we'll be able to end up working together.
This course is designed to be challenging, because you don't really grow as a person unless you're outside of your comfort zone. And this job requires that you do that in the first place.
The training that this program provides does open a lot of avenues.
It's going to test people physically and mentally.
You could go into timber and logging. You could absolutely go into wildland firefighting because you get all these fire certs and you understand the forest and you get the base level training you need.
It changes you inside, things start to switch where you didn't think you were capable of doing certain things, and you know that you are, it instills a little bit more confidence.
You could also go into being a forest technician. You have the base certs for that.
It helps you to look at life as a whole in a totally different way.
I'm currently on parole, and my parole agent had mentioned the program, and he told me, hey, you know what? I think you'd be a good candidate for this. Don't let, your situation stop you from going beyond. So there's a lot of possibilities in this field, and they look more on how you work and how hard you're willing to work than your background. And if you can prove yourself and prove that you're a good individual and that you want it, this is a place for you.
But me personally, I want to be a hot shot because they're like the elite fire crew, and that's what I want to do. That seems like it'd be the most challenging in this field, and I feel like I'd be good at that, so I want to be a hot shot.
My future looks so different after this program than before because not only do you get a lot of great training, but you learn about opportunities constantly throughout this that you didn't know existed before.
There's so many different options and different routes and avenues you can take, but that's the good part of this whole program. It's like the sky's the limit, really.
Just get down and dirty and put in some work.
When the farmers that live on here stop and talk to us, they thank us. They say thank you. When they see the logos, when they see us working, they know that it's for the better good, and it is beneficial for the community.
Our prime metric is employment. Are the people who are being trained getting hired in forestry tech jobs? That is the metric, and they are.
I've never considered the forest as a career path. Anytime we finish something, you're feeling accomplished. It's one of the best feelings ever. The more I look at it, the more I spend more time out here, the more I fall in love with it.